everybody, to our Ayurveda talk. I'm Marie, an Ayurvedic health practitioner, and we are looking at how we can continue to help ourselves with healthy tissues, right? So we just did the spring cleanse. I still have a few clients that are in the middle of it. So we just did, most of us have completed the spring cleanse. And now you are in the most important part of the spring cleanse, which is building healthy tissues. So that means everything you do matters. But what I really wanted to bring to mind today is what Ayurveda is based on. Ayurveda is actually considered the ultimate, the most incredible preventative medicine. And this is how you create that preventative health for yourself. Right now, after you've done the cleanse, you've removed all those toxins, and now you are building healthy tissues every day. Because remember, how long, you could Google it for yourself. How long does it take for tissues to form? A long time. Skin's like 30 days, a long time. So our entire body will completely be reformed with new tissues in about 2 to 3 months. So your meals today will contribute to all those tissues weeks ahead, months ahead. But when we are looking at Ayurveda, we have to look at our daily life because that is where we make the difference. That is where Ayurveda becomes the preventative medicine that it is. Preventative health crises. We want to prevent our health crises. And you do that with every single choice you make. So what you do every day, it's either going to build and support and nourish your health and your tissues, bring in vitality, and create resistance to any of the viruses and bacteria that are out there, to disease and illness. Whatever it is that's out there that wears us down, our daily choices are what can help us with all of that. So our vitality really matters. That's when the Ojas building protocol becomes important. What is Ojas again? Ojas is our vital essence. It's considered our life sap. So the Ojas protocol becomes important when we're looking at building vitality and preventing wearing down of our actual health. Okay, so your moment-to-moment choices are where that plays in. You make choices with what you eat. You make choices with what you do. You make choices with how you respond to people. You make choices in whether you exercise or not. You are making choices in how late you stay up. You are making choices in the information you choose to bring in, the conversations you choose to be a part of. It all plays a role in our mental and physical health. How do we create a lifestyle that supports us? It's simple, you guys. You want to align with nature. So Ayurveda, the actual definition of Ayurveda means the science of nature. That's what it means. So what nature's doing is what we should be doing. So like I always say, when the sun's up, we're up. When the sun's down, we're down. And if you have a work schedule where you've got a swing shift or a night shift, we do our best with that. There's not a lot of people that can do those shifts, and eventually they do wear your body down. So I would recommend that you don't do those shifts for very long in your life. So your rhythms in our daily lives are all about whatever the rhythms of nature are. It's not based on how you grew up. It's not based on how your parents grew up. It's based on nature. Okay, so according to Ayurveda, you want to strive to live in harmony with Mother Nature. And Ayurveda is, Ayurveda is said to be about 5,000 years old. And the way we used to live, really not that long ago, 100 years ago, was very much in alignment with nature. People were connected to the earth. People had gardens. People had to grow their own foods. They had to raise their own livestock. And you worked together, and you had to make sure that you paid attention to whatever the rhythms were of even the seasonal cycles, because if you didn't prepare for winter, then you were going to be in trouble. So when I was growing up, my mom and my grandma used to do canning, because that is how you prepare for winter, because that's the food that you're going to eat during wintertime when there's not as much food available. So the rhythms of the great rhythms and forces of nature, they alternate and change and fluctuate from day to night. They fluctuate from season to season. And those cycles, even the cycle of birth and then life and then death, those cycles are all part of nature. And that is where we want to align. What we choose to eat for food, what we choose to drink, and the air we breathe, also very important in our daily choices. We want to be aligned with nature. And the wisdom that came out of the ancient Vedic texts were basically that masters of that text said that good health is when we are in harmony with nature, which is based on the patterns of nature. And being in tune with nature means that we are being in tune with our true nature. What does that mean? It means your constitution that you were born with. Your true nature is different. I mean, we're all aligned with nature, but the DNA that you got from your mom and dad is going to determine your true nature and how the elements show up in you. So you are going to have people that were born with more air, more ether. Then there are other people that are born with more fire, and then other people that are born with more earth and water. And how we all go through the world will be different. And then how we line up with as seasons change, those seasonal changes are going to impact our natural constitution different than some of the other elements. So an air element individual, they have all the elements, but they're dominant in air. Those season changes are going to impact them different than maybe a fire element person or a water earth element person. So that is why knowing your true nature, knowing your actual constitution, it's called your prakriti. It also breaks down to what we call the doshas. Knowing that is important, because then that's how you know, this is how I was physically built, this is my mental nature, and this is my emotional nature. If I'm a fire element person, everything that I do is going to be around heat. So my emotional nature as a fire element person is going to be heated. My physical nature is going to be running hot. My mental nature is going to be intense, focused thinking, fire, laser beam focus, fire. And so that's what is natural. But you want to really watch your diet and all of your lifestyle stuff that you're doing that aligns not only with the rhythms of nature and what's happening outside of us, because we don't have control over the weather, we don't have control over the changes of the seasons, but we have control over our daily choices. And so how we make those food choices and how it's impacting our particular constitution makes a difference. And that is how Ayurveda really helps us to understand ourselves, so that you are living in a way that is going to help you be in harmony with nature, so that you eat, you live, you exercise, you sleep. Every activity that you do is all about helping you stay in harmony with nature. Living in accordance with nature and the natural laws means that we are continually balancing our inner ecology by adjusting our ever-changing environment. So we make adjustments in our diet, in our lifestyle as the season changes, right? We just did that by doing the cleanse. And all of those adjustments then help us to remain in harmony with nature. And by the way, it's not a head thing, like, because we tend to be always thinking about it. When I did this last Ayurveda cleanse, you guys, after I did the purge, it was such a great purge for me because not only did I feel physically lighter, it completely emptied my mind. It completely emptied my emotions. So I got from that cleanse just this blank slate. I was empty. I was clear. I moved into a very pure state, mentally, physically, emotionally. And that's what Ayurveda cleanses do for us. And now I have this beautiful opportunity ahead of me for the next few months to create healthy tissues and really build my body in a way that supports my health. So that is why understanding Ayurveda and that it really is all about being in harmony with nature can help us and prevent disease and illness and imbalances. Okay, so that's our talk for tonight. Next week, we have a special talk. I'm not going to tell you what it is, but it's special. I've been researching it for this last week, and so I have another week of research, and then we get this special topic. Okay, so that's our talk for tonight. We're going to get started with our practice.